I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. Tonight's show is called Future Shift, and you would have known that if you'd been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, where you can subscribe to have the shows sent to you, and then you'll be able to watch it anytime you want. You might think about doing that in the future. And the reason why we're talking about a future shift tonight is because there is a new moon at 11 degrees of Aquarius today, and that it means that the sun, the moon, and Mercury, the planet of the mind, are all in Aquarius, the sign of the future. The reason why we're talking only about a shift or some sort of transition that you might be thinking about is because that would be very easy to do right now. And that is because there are actually 4 planets in the air signs making communication very easy. And that is because the sun, moon, and Mercury in Aquarius are trining Mars in Libra. Mars is a very dynamic planet in the sign of peace, which is what Libra rules. And so it can denote some sort of confusion or indecision, or even a breakup of a partnership, or the cancellation of a contract, or some sort of problem with a merger. And in fact, this is a time when people can be thinking about mergers or thinking about partnerships, and that is because Mercury is involved in this new moon because it's in Aquarius. But what the kind of partner people would be looking for is a very hard-working one, and that is denoted by having Mars there trining this new moon. But these 4 planets are also trining the sign of Gemini. Gemini rules change and communication, but it's easy, breezy kind of change and communication, and it also can be something that only represents a temporary project or something that could be part-time in addition to your regular activities, or it can simply be that there is some sort of shift or transition that you can hear about or be able to make right now. Maybe you want to manage your time better. Maybe you want to take on some additional hobby or effort, or maybe you want to get a little better education and attend a seminar or some sort of short-term courses. That's ruled by Gemini as well. So change is favored right now, and so is the future, since the new moon is in the sign of the future. Aquarius also is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is in Aries, and it is sextile this new moon. So since Aries rules new beginnings, there could be the possibility of a new beginning coming your way, but it would be somehow connected to what you're already doing, and that's why the title of the show is Future Shift. And so there can be some doors that open up for you in your future, particularly if you can explain your bright ideas clearly and to the right people. And the reason why that's going to be important for you to do that is because I think that all of us are thinking of how to make a better future and how to make better choices. And we can do that. But as you begin to think of who or what you want in your future, I think that if you just pause and reflect, you may discover that the most important thing regarding your success in the future is to take things one step at a time. And the reason why that's so important is because there are 5 planets in the cardinal signs, and that can indicate sudden change or volatility that you're not in control of. And that's why if you just take one step at a time toward your future, you can be on solid ground and not be in too much of a hurry. And that way you can achieve your goals, which would be great. There's also another way that you can achieve your goals, and I think you're going to have to go through this step, and it is that right behind the new moon today in Aquarius are 2 other planets, Venus and Pluto in Capricorn. Capricorn is a cardinal sign, and remember I mentioned there are 5 planets in cardinal signs, all harshly squaring and opposing each other. Venus and Pluto are being squared by that Mars in Libra, which is very strong right now, and they're being squared by Jupiter in Cancer, and they by Uranus in Aries, and they are being opposed by Jupiter in Cancer. And Venus is retrograde, so it has gone back on its orbit, and it is very close to Pluto. It's conjuncting that planet. And in fact, Venus is at 14 degrees of Capricorn and Pluto is at 12 degrees. Venus is going to go direct in just 2 days. It will go forward. And because Capricorn is a sign that rules big business and government, and Pluto is a planet that represents management, I think that management, or the higher ups in some sort of organization that you may be affiliated with, will be able to make a favorable decision very, very soon. And it may be that your future shift in one way or another, or transition that you want to make in your future, can be dependent on some sort of presentation or commitment that you are able to present to the right people. In other words, even if you've got a good idea, other people want to know if you've got a plan behind that, and what your plan is, and what your credentials are. So you may have to try to convince the higher ups that you're very serious and that you can be successful in a new endeavor. But if you do convince them, there is the possibility that very soon they will go ahead and make a favorable decision that can greatly influence your future. Would there be a lot of money in it to start with? No, I don't think so. And that is because Saturn in Scorpio is squaring the Sun, Moon, and Mercury in Aquarius. So that's 4 planets in fixed signs, and they're in harsh aspect as well. So I think that you just have to convince somebody that you've got a great idea and a great plan on how to accomplish it. If you can do that, then there can be some money coming at a later time. So there may be a period of time which is sort of a development period or a try-on time right now, and that would be all right, because no matter what your good idea is, we all know that good ideas are subject to change, but that's okay. They can get refined, and they maybe can even be better. Okay, what does this idea of a future shift mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, for you, I think that there is going to be some sort of future shift in your life, and it could happen quite suddenly, but be very favorable. And the way I think it can happen is that I think it might happen to somebody else first. And the reason why is that the Sun, Moon, and Mercury in Aquarius are all sextiling your sun sign, Aries, and you have Uranus in your sun sign, and it is the ruler of Aquarius. It's very well aspected. But you also, since you have Uranus in a cardinal sign, which is your sign, it is being heavily squared and opposed by other planets right now. And so there is the possibility of some shift in a partnership, and it can be that, or a contract could be canceled. That could open the way for somebody else to have a green light on a future project of theirs. And if you are supportive of that, Aries, and you decide to back somebody else who is allowed to go ahead with their future plan, that could open a door for you at a later date and give you room to grow and succeed as well. So I think that you can even piggyback on somebody else's great opportunity right now by being supportive of that. And as their idea grows, there can be certainly room for you to participate and grow along with it. And that's how I think a future shift, yours could be a somewhat delayed future shift, but it could still be a good one as long as you're supportive of somebody else who is moving ahead right now. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is simply a time, I think, when you are going to perhaps lose out to somebody else who is going to be able to make some sort of future shift. Now, you can console yourself with the fact that there's not much money in it right now, so you wouldn't have lost anything, Taurus. And the reason why you may lose out to somebody else's idea right now is because the Sun, Mercury, and the Moon today, the new moon, are squaring your sun sign, and Saturn in Scorpio is opposing your sun sign. Remember, I said there are 4 planets in fixed signs today, and that simply means that there is the opportunity for fixed signs to dig in right now and really resist change. I hope you don't do that, Taurus. Even if you are being bypassed a little bit right now, I think that there are other things that you can look at instead of a missed opportunity. And even if there is one missed opportunity, there wasn't a lot of money connected to it anyway, so financially you wouldn't have lost anything. And also there is the possibility with Venus conjuncting Pluto in Capricorn, and they both trine your sun, Taurus, and with Venus now going direct in 2 days, that you can get some good news about a long-term investment, or you might be happily surprised that something you own is worth more. Or even if the price is dropping on an asset, you might be happily surprised that you can go ahead and sell it right now. So that, in a way, represents a future shift for you as well. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, I think that you definitely are going to go through a future shift, and it is coming right up. It might be that your duties are lightened in some way, and therefore you will not be so burdened by activities that have sort of weighed you down lately and stressed you out. Instead, with the 3 planets in Aquarius today under the new moon, and Mars in Libra, also trining your sun, those 4 planets are being very supportive of your own, Gemini, and that simply means that you are going to be able to hear about some future shift. In other words, I think you're going to pick up news that will allow you to make some sort of change that is right up your alley, Gemini. In fact, when you get the news, you are going to be absolutely delighted. Now remember, it may involve having to make a presentation. It may involve that somebody else is going to be making some sort of shift, but they will be doing it in conjunction with you, Gemini. So you may be partnering with somebody, or maybe they're going to come along and help lighten your load. But one way or the other, you are really definitely going to benefit now from some sort of future shift. In fact, since your sign rules 2 of everything, there could be 2 of them, Gemini, and I think you're going to love them both. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, this is simply a time when the grand trine in water signs is still holding, so of course you're popular and you enjoy the emotional and financial support of your family and friends, and that is not changing, which is good, Cancer. But on the other hand, that new moon today in Aquarius is 150 degrees away from your sun sign, and that makes it inconjunct. You may not be included in a group that is making some sort of future shift right now. And one reason can be that Pluto and Venus are together in Capricorn, and they are opposing your sun sign where you have Jupiter. So on the one hand, you are very popular and well loved by family and friends, and rather happy in your home life, and that isn't going to change. But on the other hand, the higher ups can be making a decision soon that may not be in your favor, Cancer. And the reason why is that they are very focused now on the future for reasons of their own, and they may be a little bit more willing to take a chance on someone else who is not of your stature, but who has a bright idea, and they may be willing to let that person try it out right now. So you may not want to be involved in something experimental anyway, Cancer. So if something passes you by right now, actually I don't think you're going to mind that at all. In fact, you might be a little bit relieved. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, this is a time when I think that if you dig in, since yours is a fixed sign, you will regret that. Try not to do that, Leo. And the reason why is that the Sun, Moon, and Mercury today in Aquarius are opposing your sun sign, which means that somebody else has a bright idea, and if they can get the backing of higher ups through a clever presentation or by having the right credentials, they may get some sort of time to develop the idea or try it on in some way. They wouldn't get a lot of money, but they would at least get a chance at that, and you wouldn't, Leo. However, Leo, there are other things that you can really be looking at and take advantage of, and it is that there are good forces around you. Mars in Libra, which is beautifully trined by the new moon today, is actually sextiling your sun, which means if there's a hard-working partner around, they could be greatly attracted to you and help you out, or you may be wanting to help them out. And Uranus in Aries is trining your sun. And that is good because Uranus is affected by this new moon. It's the ruler of Aquarius where the new moon is today. And Uranus, since it is trining your sun, may mean that the sudden opportunity opens up for you. So you really need to keep your eyes and your ears open right now, Leo, and be on the lookout for something that's pretty fascinating. And if you're the first in line and you're the first one there, you're the one that's going to be able to take advantage of something new. And so that's what I mean by, look around. Try not to dig in and think that all you need to do is really be very, very competitive now against somebody else. In fact, try not to compete at all with somebody. Instead, go around that a little bit, Leo, and look for other new opportunities or hardworking partners because they're there. All you have to do is just sort of raise your hand and say, hey, I'm here too, and join up with somebody right now. And particularly look for something that just comes right out of the blue, because I think it's going to come right at you. And I think that is what you should be focusing on, your future, not someone else's. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a time when I don't think you once again have to do too much, and that is because even though the new moon is in Aquarius, which can rule things ahead of their time and certainly emphasizes the future, it's going to depend on, a new idea is going to depend on whether the higher-ups approve of it or not, or whether a presentation is successful. If they decide something favorable, I think it will be favorable in your favor, Virgo, or it will affect you in a way that can really increase your duties, but also increase your long-term security. And that is because that's what Capricorn rules. And when Venus goes direct, I think you're going to get some good news, Virgo. It may not have anything to do with somebody else's new future plan, but if you're a person who has a new plan, and you've already presented the facts and the details because that's what you do best, it can be that you get the nod, or you get a chance to try something out, Virgo, and then you'd be absolutely swamped. But you may have been patiently waiting for that and preparing for that already. And if you have, the chances of you getting extremely good news are coming right up. And that's what I really think you're going to get one way or another, Virgo. So even if it takes until March to get that good news, I think the decision is being made now, and it's favorable, and it is certainly going to benefit you. The reason why you may not find out about it all until March is because there are some preliminary things that have to be done first, and also Jupiter goes direct in March and it sextiles your sun, and that's when I think the good news can really hit you, which is great. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, this is simply a time when you really benefit from the new moon today. So it is good news for you, Libra, and that is because Mars in your sign is being trined by all those planets in Aquarius, and that can really rev you up and energize you, Libra. So suddenly, you may just be deciding you're not going to sit around and think about something anymore. You're going to get out and solve your own problems, and you can really do it, Libra. You can also get more partners if you want to right now. And I do think the combination of having people around that can really go forward and help you right now, and knowing people who have new ideas, who want to sort of try them out, can stimulate you and get you shifting your future forward. And that is why I think you really need to pay attention to the buzz, to what's going on right now, and participate in it, Libra, because I think that you are really going to move forward successfully. And that may end some of your troubles. In other words, you can get away from some people who have been sort of cramping your style lately and get on to something new. So good luck, and I hope you eat your Cheerios, because you're going to be real busy. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, you are certainly going to you're certainly going to be able to you're going to be able to go ahead and listen to other people who have good ideas. Okay. You're going to be able to go ahead and listen to people who have good ideas about something new. And if you do that, Scorpio, you are going to be able to decide sooner or later if you want to join them. And if you do join them, it may be maybe financially. But I think there's going to be a delay on that. And the reason why is that new moon and sun and Mercury today in Aquarius square Saturn in your sign. And so that can make you reluctant to give money out to something that's just experimental or just on the try-on stage right now. And I think that you should wait a little bit on that just to see if somebody has really got their plan well formed. If they do, you can be deciding to back them when they need the money. They really need the good idea first, and they need it well planned and be ready to execute it. They need a budget and a business plan as well. If they get that all together, and if they get a nod from the higher ups, I think that you are going to be ready to allocate funds toward them. In the meantime, you are being backed in a legal issue really well, and that is because Mars is at 23 degrees of Libra today, and it is exactly sextile Saturn in your sign, also at 23 degrees. So you have some powerful legal backup behind you, and you may be solving problems behind the scenes right now, and that may be why you are not interested in any kind of future shift right now outwardly, but you could be working on it behind the scenes, so good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarius? Well, Sagittarius, this is a time when I think that you can benefit greatly by the new moon in Aquarius because it is sextiling your sun. And that simply means that you really are going to be able to have a chance to participate in some sort of future shift. And the way I think that will happen, Sagittarius, is a little bit the same way that it might happen to Aries, in that somebody else may be able to go forward with a novel idea, or they may be given the chance to try something out or to plan something or present it, and if they get the permission to do that, then their forward progress can somehow beneficially affect you, Sagittarius, since the new moon is sextiling your sign. So that would be wonderful, because Mars in Libra on the other side of your sun sign is also sextiling your sun. So I think that somehow you are going to be caught up or affected by some sort of forward shift that other people are making, and I think you'll be delighted, Sagittarius. So I'm not saying that you're making a change at the moment, but I think you should prepare for some sort of change, because I think it is on your near horizon and will be coming up. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is simply a time when I think that you are going to have to be faced with some sort of decision that's got to be made pretty soon. And you know what, Capricorn? I think you've already made it. I think that you have been thinking very seriously about something that you've been wanting to do for a while, but you have not been in the position, or you haven't had the authority, or there has been something holding you back. But now when Venus goes direct in 2 days in your sun sign, you are going to be able to go ahead, and you already know what you want, and you've already got the plan down, don't you, Capricorn? So I think it is you that's going to either be in a position to say yes to somebody else, or in doing that, you may finally get what you want to. So there could be somebody very nice on your horizon that you could be working with on a committee or on a project, and that would make you very happy because it's something that I think you would be looking forward to. So congratulations. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Aquarius, the new moon is in your sun sign, and that is wonderful for you because it's being fortified by Mars in Libra. So with the sun, moon, and Mercury in your sign all being sort of pushed and and encouraged by Mars in Libra, it simply means you are going to be able to make some sort of future shift. And it's only a shift. It's not a radical change. So it must involve something that you already know how to do, or that you have a lot of credentials in already, or that you are well prepared. In other words, you really do have a plan, or you really do know the right people to put together a great productive team. And I think that's what you're going to be able to do, Aquarius. And I don't think that there's anything stopping you except money. But remember, you have to have the good idea, and you have to have the plan, and you have to have the timeline set up and a budget at least proposed before you get the money. I think that you will get the money. It might not be everything that you want, but as long as you are able to explain yourself clearly right now, the future shift is certainly on your horizon, Aquarius. Congratulations. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, I think that you are, since that new moon is right behind your sun sign, it means there's a lot of light in the background of your life, Pisces. And since Mercury is involved, that planet of the mind and of conversation, it simply means that a lot of people can see you pretty clearly right now, Pisces, and they're talking about you. It's nothing bad. In other words, they are discussing where you might fit into their future plans. So there's nothing wrong with that. And you are benefiting from this strong grand trine in water signs right now. So I would say you might be a little closer to getting your heart's desire than you realize, Pisces. So I hope you're on your best behavior right now, because everything depends on whether people think that you can be included in a productive and successful future venture. And so try to sell yourself to other people right now and be at your best, because a door could open for you, Pisces, and it might be one that could make a dream come true for you. All right, thanks so much for tuning in, and thank you for understanding about our little technical glitches. They do happen from time to time. And remember, you can subscribe to the show anytime you want on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.